Hi there, it's Caroline Cousins, mentor and inner transformation coach, and I'm here to talk about celery juice today from a testimonial perspective. I like to test things out before I recommend these things to my clients and to the audience out there on my YouTube channel. So celery juice, it's a big thing at the moment. More and more people are doing it, more people are taking it. What does it do? Where's it come from? What's the big thing about it? I am going to talk about my juicer. I'm going to talk about celery juice itself. I'm going to talk about what it's done for me very quickly. And then hopefully we'll answer most of the questions that I'm always being asked by my clients and colleagues. So celery juice is something that Anthony William, medical medium, heard from the people that speak through him, I think 30-40 years ago, I don't know, a long time ago. He heard about this and was recommending it to his clients. And more recently, he's actually written the book, Celery Juice, about it due to its popularity, but not just its popularity, its efficacy. It's very effective, and I'm speaking from personal experience here. As somebody that's had Lyme disease for several years, lucky old me, trying to find a way to get rid of it. I work on all the mental, emotional, spiritual side as well, but it's great to work on the body to clear out the toxins. Anthony, in his first book, Medical Medium, talks about Lyme disease and how it gets created in the body, and it's not by and large what the conventional medicine say, how the conventional medicine say it's created. It's typically connected with the Epstein-Barr virus, the stress virus, and one of the varieties of it, as is fibromyalgia, as lupus, and headaches, migraines, and many other chronic conditions, including, I believe, multiple sclerosis as well. So have a look at his book. The first book, Medical Medium, was out a few years ago. Have a look at that. It's filled with information. I've got all his books. And this one is his most recent one, Celery Juice, and it's filled with information about celery. So celery is a herb. It's a herb, not a vegetable, and it's particularly beneficial for chronic conditions. It helps prevent gut rot from undigested foods that are hard to digest, fats and proteins. Restores the liver bile production, so it's fantastic for the digestive system. It's the ultimate electrolyte source, so it rehydrates the body. It helps to detox the liver. It enhances the neurotransmitter chemicals, allowing the brain to function at its optimum level. It feeds every cell in the body with nourishment. It's anti-inflammatory. It disperses fats in the bloodstream. It gets rid of the mucus from the intestinal tract. It dissolves those undigested bits of food that are rotting away within the digestive system, and so on and so on. It also raises the hydrochloric acid and restores the pH level in the body. In fact, there's a whole book full of information, so I highly recommend that. So I've been on it for nearly a year. And I've only missed one day. Even when I went traveling, I took my juicer with me, my old juicer. My old juicer gave up the ghost. That was one of those really vicious things. And now I've got a slow masticating juicer, which is an ACOC, which cost me just under £100 here in the UK in 2019. It's got a 2-year guarantee, but it does the job. It's not particularly solid, but it does the job. And I've got my celery juice here. After it's been juiced, I stick it through a tea strainer as well, so all I get is the juice. You don't want to use a NutriBullet because that uses the fibre. The magic ingredient, which is the sodium cluster salts that Anthony talks about in his book, they are extracted from within the fibre. That's why it has to be juiced. If you only have a blender, then make sure you sieve all the fibre out by using some muslin or something like that after, which is very laborious, but necessary if you want to get the full benefit of celery. It's full of health giving properties, and certainly in the UK, I know you can buy it in big bundles, not in plastic in America, but in the UK, of course, it's packaged because they love to do their packaging in the supermarket. And you have the non-organic, normal, and you have the organic. In the UK, in 2019, it's £1 a bunch. That's pre-Brexit. It's £1 a bunch, and you'll need about 1.5 bunches of these. You'll cut the end off, so you don't want that hard bit at the end, so you'll cut that end bit off, and then you'll rinse it and juice the rest. With the non-organic, obviously the same thing. They tend to come a bit bigger, so normally one packet is enough. Costs about 50p for the non-organic in the supermarkets. Just make sure you wash it thoroughly, because it's one of the worst things for gathering the pesticides and toxins. So just make sure that it's washed thoroughly. So you'll as I say, cut the ends off, and that's what you're left with. I'd still leave the leaves on. They can be a little bit bitter, but I'd still leave them on, and then you'll gradually put them through the juicer. It comes out the other end, and you'll have your juice. That's about how much you need as a minimum. So it's just under a pint in the UK, and it is a pint in the USA. So it's 16 ounces as a minimum, and if you want to have a much quicker healing reaction, then you probably do want to do 16 ounces twice a day there. The best time to do it is first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. Don't add anything to it whatsoever. Don't add anything to enhance the healing properties, because it takes it away. Even water, even ice cubes, even ginger, anything like that, don't add anything. For me, it's a horrible taste, but actually the juice is slightly sweeter, and the organic juice is slightly sweeter, so it's more bearable. I just don't smell it as it's going down, and I tend to drink it all at once. As well, so you don't add anything to it. If you can't tolerate it all the first few times, then just reduce it down to 8 ounces or 4 ounces, enough that you can tolerate, and then move up. You need that much, that 16 ounces, you need that much, because it needs to go through your whole digestive system and be used properly. And I think it gets sucked up by the liver as well. And it helps to get rid of the Epstein-Barr virus in the body behind so many illnesses. And I can vouch for that, because I've been tested and the Epstein-Barr has gone down to almost nothing in my body, and I'm 1 year in, and I'm pretty sure the Lyme disease has gone now as well, because all the symptoms of Lyme have gone. Every time I've been privately tested, my health's got better and better and better and better. What you can have is an immediate reaction of diarrhea or loose movements, and that's just the toxins coming straight out of the body, because it works really quickly. It goes through you very, very quickly. But that tends to go off after a few days or a bit longer. So if you can stick with it, do. If it's too much, then come back to it at a later date and just build up very, very slowly and very gradually. But pure celery juice, nothing added whatsoever. So make sure you drink it on an empty stomach, so at least 2 hours before eating or anything, and make sure that you don't eat or drink anything for 15 to 30 minutes afterwards. So it's on an empty stomach, first thing in the morning is ideal, and you don't eat or drink anything for 15 to 30 minutes afterwards. And then if you want to have it maybe 2 hours after a meal at night before you go to sleep as well, that's great. If you want to enhance the healing and do it a little bit quicker, then do it twice a day if your body can tolerate that. So it's a herb. I don't know if I mentioned it's a herb, but it's something. I mean, I hate celery. I really do dislike the taste of celery. Always have done. But the organic juice is just a little bit sweeter and more palatable and worth doing. But I tell you what, the difference is incredible. In 1 year, my energy shot up. My body feels hydrated. And once you drink it first thing in the morning, anything that you eat after that is kind of cushioned by it. So it really, the inflammation, bloatedness is all gone, and you'll notice a difference normally within a week to 10 days, maybe a couple of weeks. Some people notice a difference even sooner than that. And I guess it depends on the level of toxicity. I highly recommend it. I had die-off for several months. So just to warn you, I had die-off for several months, and then all of a sudden everything shifted for me, and every test I had, I just got better and better and better with the test. So celery juice, enjoy it, please do it. Within a couple of years would have raced by, and you'll be feeling so much healthier. You can heal from chronic conditions. You can heal naturally from Lyme disease, lupus, I don't know about multiple sclerosis, but certainly all the other conditions. You can heal naturally. You can detox your body. It's a long-term commitment, but you owe it to yourself to do it. Please look after your health and enjoy it. Know that you're healing yourself, you're loving yourself, and you're helping yourself by having that every single day. Any questions? Actually, buy the book. Don't ask me. Buy the book if you have any questions, or go on to Medical Medium's site, because he's the one with the knowledge. He knows what he's talking about. Everything he said has been proven correct in the tests that I've had done, and he's the one that can answer the questions thoroughly and completely. I'm just going to read you a very quick excerpt from the book before I go, and this is on fibromyalgia, for those with fibromyalgia out there. His words: celery juice is very helpful for fibromyalgia because it diffuses the toxins responsible for the condition. Epstein-Barr viral neurotoxins. These neurotoxins landing on nerves are responsible for the peripheral and central nerve inflammation that fibro sufferers experience. When celery juice comes into the system, its sodium cluster salts attach themselves to the neurotoxins and carry them out of the body safely, so that nerves are less exposed to the Epstein-Barr virus neurotoxins. It goes beyond that too. Often people with fibro have highly toxic livers that go undiagnosed. Celery juice cleanses and purifies the liver, removing many of the neurotoxins, poisons that the virus produces in the organ before they even get a chance to reach nerves throughout the body. With use of celery juice over time, and it is a long-term commitment, overall body pain can reduce, and particular hot spots that fibro sufferers deal with can improve substantially. That's just a very small excerpt. If you also have eczema, psoriasis, any skin condition as well, go onto the celery juice. Get his book. It'll explain everything. Go onto his website, medicalmedium.com. Look at listen to his podcast, follow him on Instagram, Facebook. He's right, it works. I'm a testimonial for that. You won't regret it. You won't look back, but stick to it. Definitely stick to it. Have a good day.